not necessarily those of this station, its staff, management, or sponsors.
Welcome to Touched by Angel Live. I am your host, Angel Kinseys. My passion is to inspire seniors to get healthy and bring solutions to their everyday needs. If you wish to join the conversation, please contact us at 1-888-565-1470 or email us at touchedbyangellive@gmail.com. Enjoy the show.
Welcome to Sunshine Senior Solutions, a trusted medical supply company that puts patients first, offering quality home medical equipment and supplies. Sunshine Senior Solutions is here to help simplify the lives of patients, caregivers, and their families. From canes and crutches to diabetic glucose monitors, your health, safety, and comfort is our #1 priority. Call or visit our website, Sunshine Senior Solutions, bringing the heart back to healthcare.
Good evening. Welcome to Touched by Angel Live. We're back again, another week with an exciting show. So tonight I want to welcome my guests. I have a little audience here tonight. I just love coming a little bit early. We get here an hour before the show and we have some snacks, and it's a nice time, especially because of COVID. We've all been locked down for a long time. It's nice to get together. So some of my students from my class, Ugo Garrido and Sherry and Goldie and Lisa is here from Sunshine Senior Solutions. We'll talk a little bit about that. I think maybe Dana's going to be coming in tonight. So it's just nice to have live audience. So I want you guys to call up the studio, ask questions, give me some input on what my subject is, and please decide to come to visit us on the show. I would love to have you. So anyway, tonight what I'm going to discuss is how to have a positive mindset. Very important in our stressful times. In order to examine a positive mindset, we really need to go to the negative. We need to explore the negative thoughts, which will get you to the positive. So what I want to talk about with you is, I would like you, we all get negative. That's a part of life. We have trauma and things that happen to us every day that are bad things. But you know what? The bad brings out the good. And I believe even like COVID, how it's really affected our whole world. A lot of negative came from it, but there's also a lot of positive too that have come from it. I think it's changed a lot of people. So I think the important thing is everybody wants to be positive, but have you ever been around people that are just negative all the time? They can't help it. That's all they do is they just talk about negative things. If the sun's shining, they'll say there's a cloud in the sky. I used to work with somebody that was like that. And it's very hard to be around people like that because you could either be drained by them or you could try to encourage them. But a lot of times I'll be the type of person to try to turn it around and be positive and encourage them. But there's some people that you just can't even be positive with. So then you have to realize, you know what? I got to move on because this person is not listening. A big thing that I look at with people is when you're talking to them, if they're looking in your eyes. Do you ever talk to somebody and they're wandering? You'll be having a conversation and their eyes are just wandering all over the place. They can't even focus. They're thinking other things while you're talking to them. So it's like I've learned that when you talk to somebody, you got to look into their eyes. You got to look into their soul. You got to see and hear and listen, learn to listen. So what I would like you to do is, if you want to overcome the negative, if you have negativity in your life, no matter what you've had, a loss or anything that's happened, and you really want to strive to get to the positive, tonight we're going to talk about it. I'm going to give you some tools that are going to help you to get away from that negative mindset and put yourself into the positive realm. It takes work, but it could be done. So what I'd like you to do is, for those of you that are at home and on the radio, I want you to think about your life. Think about your thoughts. Think about what you do. What are your thoughts about the world today? How do you perceive the world? Are you negative about where we're going, or could you look at the positive? I want you to write down at least 3 things about yourself that are negative, that you know really bother you, that just eat you up inside. I want you to write those things down. It could be, there's a lot of things with negativity. You could have stress, you could have depression, you could be sick, you could be lonely, you could have anger, you could be just the type of person that you complain about everything. So you really need to examine that. Are you around negative people? Do you find yourself complaining? Those are the things that I want you to write down. And then on the other side, the opposite side, I want you to write down the positive side of how you could change that. Now remember, if you get up every day and you do the same thing, and you have the same routine, and you think the same thing every single day, remember, nothing is going to change, okay? So you have to realize you cannot live in the past. You want to live in the future. A good way to do that is to journal and have a vision, okay? A vision of positivity. Things that you want to do, things where you want to be. You don't want to stay in the same place. You always want to get better. So it's all about your perception, how you perceive it. If you think I can't, you won't. You never will. If you want to stay in that little box, then you could be there, and you know what? People are going to just move away from you. You could examine yourself and say, do I have friends? Could I call up somebody to depend on? And really examine yourself. Think about, am I the type of person that when somebody calls me, I'm always complaining and I'm always thinking about negative stuff? Or am I calling and saying, hi, how are you today? Are you having a good day? Just caring. And you know what? When you give of yourself to somebody else, you get back so much more. It's not all about me, it's about what you can do for somebody else. And when you start to give of yourself, you're going to see a real change come into your life. So some of the positive things is as soon as you change your mindset, the first thing is to be present, to be aware of what you're doing. You ever driving in a car and all of a sudden you don't realize where you were going, you forgot where you were going? Well, that's like your mind is somewhere else. You're thinking about something else. Mindfulness means you're in the present moment. You're aware. So when you're driving, that's why we shouldn't be texting, we shouldn't be on the phone. When you're driving, you should be in the present. You should be aware. As a woman, if you get out of your car, you should be aware of your purse. You should be aware of your surroundings when you go in and out of the store. That's being present in the moment. Well, we should be present every single moment of the day. When we get up in the morning, the first thing we should do is be present and be positive about the day. I say a prayer and I get up, and that's the time in the morning when I feel like I have communication and things start to come to me, and I start to write down feelings that I have. And that's like my time. So I treasure that. I get up, I make a cup of coffee, I go out in the yard, and I don't take my phone or the TV or the news. I walk out, I just enjoy the sun, the blue sky, the trees, the birds. I went and I bought a whole bunch of bird seed and bird houses, and I put them around my yard, because I thought to myself, that's a positive thing. I want to be able to see nature. I want to feel that, because that's my little sanctuary, So, and it just helped. And I even got back into my painting. I was painting the little bird cages. So you got to take yourself out of your negativity, and you almost got to fight through to find something that makes you happy. So the other thing is you want to take hold of your thoughts. Think about what you're thinking. If you know that you're wandering and your mind's going off into the negative, you got to really think about what you're thinking and change it. Okay. The other thing is you want to surround yourself with things that make you happy. And even if you're alone, things that make you happy, believe it or not, colors are very important. I know when we were working in a gym, the gym had bright yellow walls. And we had the most amazing classes in that gym. The energy was phenomenal in the gym. One day we came in and they painted the walls gray and dark green. Nobody really realized anything about it. We didn't pay attention, but we noticed all of a sudden the energy in the classes weren't the same. We couldn't figure out what it was. And then I realized it was the color that they changed the room. So colors affect you. My whole house was white. Since COVID, we've changed almost every room. I have red, I have yellow, I have lime green, I have pink, I have purple and green and blues, all kinds of colors, because colors really affect you. Red is powerful. I have red in my living room and part of my kitchen. And I have yellow is energy. Blue is peaceful. So that's in one of our bathrooms is blue, and that's very peaceful. Green is nature. So I have green in my bedroom, a lime green with pink. So the green is against the window, so when I see the green, I could see the green trees behind it. You'd be surprised how the green pulls in the nature in your house. So your colors could affect your mood. If you live alone and you're depressed and you have white walls or gray walls or beige, go paint a wall. It's easy, you could do it. Put up a piece of material. You could get a red tablecloth or a red curtain and hang it up and put it on one wall. Be creative. You know, there's a lot of ways that you could turn your negative situation around to be positive. Another thing that I think is very important is to have an animal, something that you could take care of. It could be a fish. It could be a bird. I mean, I just inherited 2 birds, and they make us laugh. Parrots, and they're so funny, and they talk. And I didn't think, you know, I lost my sister in November, and she had a macaw and a gray, what is it called? A what? An African gray. African grays are like a 5 or 6 year old. They have the mentality, and they could say up to 300 words. I wake up in the morning and he's covered and he says, "Good morning, I love you." I mean, he just makes my day, and it gives you something to take care of. If you can't have an animal, the other thing that you could do is you could take up a hobby. Like I started to paint again. Paint your house. I know one of my students from my class, he had Parkinson's. He got involved in a paint by number class, and his wife said, "You would be amazed how much better he's doing. He's not shaking, his thinking is much better, he's happier, and you should see the pictures that he paints. It's all paint by number, but you know what? Him using his hands and his mind is helping him to feel better. You could garden. I love going out in the garden. Even if you have a little lanai, have some plants, take care of your plants. Do things that are gonna, something that you like, something that you used to do. When I lost my husband, I had to go back in my mind to when I was 16 before we met. And I had to think, what did I like to do? Well, I like to dance. So now I dance. I teach seniors dancing, Zumba, you know, strength and balance classes. I never thought I would do something like that. But I was determined through my cancer and through the loss of my husband, my mom, my sister, I was determined that I had to make it. I had to fight through. And that determination is what will get you to the positive. So even taking up exercise, you know, maybe you don't want to go to the gym, but there's no excuse. There's Zoom. My class is six classes a week on Zoom. People go on their computer. Some of them keep their screen closed. They don't have to get up. You know, they could sit there in their pajamas. They don't have to comb their hair. They don't have to put their makeup on. They're not spending any money for gas. My seniors love it. They love coming on Zoom, right, guys? They love the Zoom. Nobody wants to go back live, you know? Although Ugo is back live, everybody loves Ugo's classes. I mean, I've been going back because I wanted to lose some more weight, and I'll tell you, I've lost some weight being in his classes the last 2 months. I mean, they're killer, and they'll get rid of your stress. So take up a hobby, do something, get out of the same pattern that you do every single day. I mean, you could have a pattern, you can get up, have coffee, but make it positive, make it something that's going to stimulate you. Now, if you do that, these are the things that's going to help you. You're going to have less stress, you're going to live longer, you're going to have better coping skills that when something bad happens, you will be able to deal with it. You will have overall better health. You will be happier. You will be more content. You'll be physically and mentally much more well in your mind. Now, what you need to also do, which is really important, is to forgive yourself. Because sometimes we beat ourselves up, and forgiveness is a big part, not just for yourself, but also for others. If you could forgive others, you know, there's a lot of broken relationships. I'm a hairdresser also. I hear stories every day. I just heard about 2 suicides this last week. So all day long I'm dealing with, you know, all this kind of stuff. So you have to really be strong to deal with it. There was a woman crying in the salon today. It was just heart-wrenching. So you've just got to, like, forgive yourself and forgive people. There's always going to be somebody there that's going to try to destroy you, try to hurt you, and it could be somebody close. It could be a loved one. It could be a family member. But you cannot let them destroy your happiness. Sometimes you need to learn your boundaries. Boundaries are so important. Being organized is important. I've learned that things in the house, I've learned how to organize certain things. Like just a simple thing, like tape, Scotch tape. I had Scotch tape, I had electrician tape, I had duct tape, I had all kinds of different tapes, and they were all over the place, in the shed, in the garage, in my cabinet, in the kitchen drawer. And one day I just said, you know what? I'm sick of looking for it. I'm so unorganized. I don't know where anything is. I can't find anything. So I said, you know what? I'm just going to organize. Every little thing is going to be in one spot. So I took all the tape and I put it in one spot. All the tools, one spot. So when I need a tool, I'm not looking, where's the screwdriver? Where's the hammer? You know, being organized is going to help you to get rid of your stress. That's part of negativity in your life when you're confused, you know, or you forget. How many times do we forget stuff, right? So by being mindful and being in the present, like when I'm saying, like you're driving and you know you have to really pay attention where you're going to avoid an accident, you need to feel that mindfulness every single day. You need to be aware of your surroundings, aware of your thoughts, what you're thinking, how you're thinking, and how you're processing it. And it's great to have a vision board. It's great to write in a diary, even for your handwriting, just to write every day. It's good for your mind. But to have a vision board so that when you see what your negative is and the positive, what's your vision? Remember, the vision will bring your change. Only you can bring change. Change is not going to come by itself. You have to move forward to it. And I'll tell you, it really works. When you think of something that comes to you, if you believe it and you want it, I believe you'll draw that to you. Whether it's a relationship or if it's just a job or just good friends to be around. If you put that out there, you're going to draw that back. If you have an old mindset, like I'm old and, you know, I'm ugly or I'm fat, when you look in the mirror, that's what you're going to see. So look in the mirror, love yourself, forgive yourself, be happy with who you are, and if you're not, make a change. You know, I lost 46 pounds in Ugo's class. I was just sick and tired of being sick and tired, and I know losing weight is not easy. That is probably one of the hardest things, smoking. There's a lot of things that are very difficult, but you can do it. We have so many good examples out there of people that have made it, that came from nothing and became millionaires because they had a vision, and no matter how many times they fell, how many times they failed, they said, I'm determined to do this, and they got up and they did it until they finally succeeded. So I'm encouraging you, make a change in your life. I want to talk about a woman that I have followed. Her name is Ellen Langer. She is a psychologist from Harvard University. She did a study, this is so interesting, with elderly people. She went into a nursing home. Now, you know, in a nursing home, nobody wants to be in a nursing home because their attitude is once you're there, that's it, you're going to die. You know, you go in there, you're old, so nobody wants to go in there. Well, she went in and she took 16 men that were in their 80s. She split them up into 2 different groups. And what she did was there was a sanitarium that was empty. I think it was a sanitarium where the priest, what is it called when the priests are in not a sanitarium, sanitarium is for sick people, a monastery. It was an old monastery. She went in, they redecorated it, they made it into the 50s. They put those people in that environment with Elvis and all pictures. They had no mirrors or anything. And all they did was they let them dress in their 20 years ago, like in 1959, she did this in 79, they all dressed up like they were 20 years younger. They ate food like when they were kids, they talked about when they were young, everything that they did, they lived 20 years younger. They read books, they watched movies, everything they did was in that mindset of 20 years younger. Within 1 week, you're not going to believe how these people changed. The difference was when they were in the nursing home, they had everything done for them. They were taken care of. They didn't have to do anything. They were like a vegetable. She let them carry their own luggage into the facility, unpack their own things, decide what they want to go make, get up to the kitchen, make their food, do everything on their own. And you know what that did to them? It gave them hope and independence. In 1 week, the group that she had one living in the present and one living in the past. The ones that were living in the past, they improved their hearing, their memory, their strength, their flexibility, their vision, their cognitive ability, and they actually looked younger. They took pictures before and after in 1 week. They were outside playing touch football. These are 80-year-old men that couldn't walk, couldn't do anything. Look it up. It's Ellen Langer. It's called Counterclockwise Study. It was a study that she did, The Powerful Mind. So look that up. That's going to help you and inspire you. It's an amazing study that she did. And so we're going to wrap it up, I guess. We have 1 minute. So I'm going to tell you, just stay positive, be optimistic, make that list, have that goal, and I will see you back in 2 weeks. I don't know what topic yet, but I'm sure it's going to be interesting. Tell your friends and join us in 2 weeks, okay? Thank you for joining in, and thank you for my audience. You didn't get to ask questions, but that's okay. We could, yeah. So thank you for coming. Thank you.
Welcome to Sunshine Senior Solutions, a trusted medical supply company that puts patients first, offering quality home medical equipment and supplies. Sunshine Senior Solutions is here to help simplify the lives of patients, caregivers, and their families. From canes and crutches to diabetic glucose monitors, your health, safety, and comfort is our #1 priority. Call or visit our website, Sunshine Senior Solutions, bringing the heart back to healthcare.
You've been watching Touched by Angel Live. Please like, subscribe, and share this video with someone you love. If you wish to join the conversation, have an idea for the show, or would like to sponsor the show, please call us at 1-888-565-1470 or email us at touchedbyangellive@gmail.com. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. If you or a loved one are interested in joining Angel on Zoom for her Strength and Balance class or Zumba Gold class for seniors, email her at angelkinseys@gmail.com. Have a great day!